Good afternoon to our dear viewers and listeners. My name is Viola Mboneko, a member of the Fidelis Leadership Institute. Right now, you are watching the Fat Talks show. Today is a very special day. Today is the leap year day, the 29th of February. And 4 years, this day only comes 4 years. And on this special day, we have two impressive guests. One of them is called Madame Olive Zaitun Chigongo. Madame Olive Chigongo has done lots for the Ugandan industry in terms of trade. She was the first female president of the Uganda Chamber of Commerce and Industries, which started in 1933. She owns a string of businesses in real estate. Her flawless skin inspired her to start a business called Amagara. And she is true to her beauty. I can tell you her products must have been an inspiration. You're very welcome, Olive, to this show, Fat Talks.
Thank you very much for hosting me, and good afternoon to viewers.
All right. And to the listeners on X Spaces on Twitter, you're all very welcome. Thank you for supporting Fat Talks. So our next important guest is Rosette Segujana Jemba. Rosette is a woman of substance. She has been in the sales and marketing industry for a dozen plus years. And right now, she serves as the commercial director at Newman's Industries. Rosette is also our host on Bump Lab, which is a very phenomenal talk show that has taken the country by storm.
Yeah.
Rosette, welcome to Fat Talks show.
Thank you so much, Viola. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having us today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today's show, the topic is about women in businesses. Women leading businesses, women-led businesses. And who better can we have than the two important women from different generations? And this is very impressive. And we don't want to come off as feminists, but we're here to motivate other women who are in the fear of going into the unknown, to listen to the people who have lived the life and walked the journey. Olive, I'll start with you. What challenges have you, not before I go to the challenges, what has inspired you? What inspired you to join a women-led business?
Well, thank you, Viola. I think business is very personal. I, for one, as in, by nature, I'm very adventurous.
Yes.
And I don't fear to venture into any business. And the entrepreneurship field, maybe I was born with it, I don't know. But it's something that in my adult life, I said I must do business. And it was just my interest that got me into business. And of course, I looked out to people who are doing business, and it so happened that in my youth, unfortunately, I was not in Uganda. I was outside this country.
Okay.
During the turmoil in Uganda. And I came across women in business, and I was inspired by those I saw in business.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we can say it's an innately part of you, because
Yes.
if you are never going to do business,
Yes.
then there's nothing else you are cut out to do.
That's true.
Thank you so much. That's very, very impressive. Over to Rosette here. Rosette,
Yeah.
tell us what inspired you to join business.
Okay, so I have been in the corporate space for a decade plus.
A decade.
Sales, marketing, and distribution, and that is Coca-Cola and Renzori precisely. So, as many people who are in the corporate spaces, there's times when, times are really tough and you're putting in 120% and you're thinking, if I put this in my business, wouldn't I, get more value for myself and also maybe to build a legacy like everyone, aspires. So what inspired me was, I looked back because, my dad was in the corporate space and he was good at finances. He was a finance director for many years, but he got to a time when we reached our secondary level and we're out of finances. And it was majorly because he hadn't ventured in that side of business. So when I got to that hard time of my life, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done with this. And I had a word with my husband. We spoke over it. Do this, like I can't keep giving in 120% and I'm not appreciated. I think we need to venture into business. And because my mom was a lover of food, she was a foodie. We used to serve in the restaurants. My mom had a restaurant. and we would serve food. So I was versatile with food, and my husband just kept saying, you know what, let's start at home. You can start with mandazi, and then we start. So I was inspired by that. I'm like, you know what, we need to start from somewhere. And what inspired me was the fact that I saw many ladies that made it, the olives, the many of them, and I'm like, no, if Olive can do it, I can do it. So yes.
It's really inspirational, Olive. As you can see, you've been touching lives knowingly and unknowingly.
Right?
So on this journey of business, there are always obstacles.
Yes.
And the obstacles sometimes can be gender-specific obstacles. By virtue of you being a woman. So could you share with our listeners and our viewers on how you overcame some of those obstacles on your journey?
Well, business, you can't really overcome challenges in business. And I, for one, when, like I said to you, I was outside for many years and I watched people doing business. I remember a club called Women in Business in Kenya, and headed by a lady who has since passed on. And she inspired me. She was actually once the president of the Kenya, Kenya something Farmers Association. I think it was called Mrs. Wamba. I still remember her name. I was young, but I was always looking out to what she did. When we came back to Uganda, of course, in 86, 87, Uganda was a different story from what it is. Probably you people are not born. But it was really, really bad state. And I remember that we were short of practically everything. We used to even buy toothpaste, to small things, even sodas, and just name it, to bring to Uganda. So in the process, my husband was into the business of transport. So time came when I said to him, you know what, why don't we venture into real estate? And some of you might know that Mosoplex, for example, was one of the pioneers in that industry, most such apartments.
Yes.
And I ran it from Monday to Sunday.
Great.
And because we had been out there, we had seen how these things are done, we had I even did a course at Utari College to make sure that I prepared it, or even what my girls went to study. So we ran that I actually ran it. I had managers that ran it. I was almost 24 hours working in the family business. Yes, of course, there were challenges. Like, even to this day, women in the business still have face of challenges. It's like you always try to even put more effort than the man, because you're always judged. You know, we are always, and we live in a judgment society, particularly towards women. And I remember the time we had to get a loan from the World Bank. There was, what was it called again? Anyhow. So I was the one chasing it because the man was in politics, and because sometimes they would say, she's going to be able to run the business. But I ran the business and we paid off the loan at the time. But of course, the business, the woman in the business, you work again when working with your husband, he takes the credit more than you do. You work like a donkey, but again the credit goes to who?
To the man.
To the man. That's one of the, but which is fine as long as the business is doing fine. So I found that a bit sometimes annoying when you haven't slept, because like in that industry sometimes we're very late, but that's okay. But later on, I tried to do something with my daughters. I have only a son, the rest of my children are daughters. And I said, let's do something as girls.
Great.
And again, one of the things that drove me to doing business is financial independence. I wanted to start a business that is only for women, that I'm going to run as me, but not necessarily with the husband and the partner. And of course, a lot of challenges, particularly in our environment whereby like, borrowing money. You have to give security. And I can tell you, at the time in the 80s and 90s and even up to 2000, not many of us had land or houses and to give in the bank.
Security.
Yeah, securities. So that was one of the challenges too. There was this culture, which is still there, by the way, is even when our parents passed on those days,
The
the inheritance goes to the boy child. Yeah. So those challenges of accessing finance, of walking into people's offices, and sometimes they would think, "Oh, what is she doing here? We just got a pretty face," things like that.
Yeah.
That also has its own challenges.
Yeah.
So really, it's but again, I would say challenges every day in the business.
That is true.
Yeah,
They never
it is,
end.
yeah.
I think beautiful women face that challenge because most times they are misconceived and judged for their looks.
You are judged. It's like you've committed a crime. Maybe if you have a pretty face, you can just
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even experience that.
Yeah.
And probably I'll say something which is not what we have said. When I became the president of the chamber, I don't know that is coming later. I faced a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And I was the first woman, actually, I think, in Africa to head a chamber of commerce.
Oh, nice. Good.
The next one came in, I think, after maybe 2 years after I was in the chamber, and I think from Zimbabwe, or I don't remember. So whenever you walked in this room with all these guys, and most of them never reached like, oh, he lost. You look in their face.
What is she even doing?
What is she doing here?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what is she doing here? But anyway, that was for the time. But today, things are different.
Yes, thank you. That was very informative. To those that have joined us, the topic is women-led businesses, and our guests today are Rosette Seguja, Commercial Director, Newmans, and our beautiful president. Please. No, let's not use that one. Our president of the Chamber of Commerce and Industries for Uganda, Madam Zaitun Olive Chigongo. So over to you, Rosette.
Yeah.
Can you share with us who some of your role models are in the business, especially women leaders, and how
You've not asked about my challenges. They're pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same, honestly. Like the patriarchy, honestly. That whole thing where they feel like, no, it's a man supposed to do this better. Is really something that, we're entering the Women's Month. I'm excited about that. So it's about empowering women and lifting each other up. But for women, even that sourcing funds, they just look at you and think, I mean, this is not your world. This is a male-dominated thing. What are you even doing here? So those are one of the major challenges, especially for us who are in FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods. Newmans is a product that will be put on a shelf and taken immediately. So you have to inject money, more and more money. You have to reinvest over and over again. So I think.
So that's fair. So who are some of the women leaders that have inspired you on this journey? I'll start with across the world, and that is Oprah. I love that she has been a resilient leader, that regardless of the odds, many times she was just away, she was ridiculed as a woman and told she's not good enough. These are things that happen to women a lot. Or you're beautiful and not good enough to lead. Or you're for it was the opposite side. You're not beautiful for TV. Sit down, but she kept going, which I feel is one of the best attributes one can have who is aspiring to be successful in life. Like regardless of the odds, regardless of what life throws at you, you keep going. I like the resilience that she had, because to honestly win, you need to stand strong. You need to stay focused and resilient as a person. But in the Ugandan industry, there's lots of ladies. I'll start with Olive, who is right next to me, that she defied the odds. She believed in herself as a woman, and she's like, no, if other women can do it. And for women like her who traveled much younger and were more exposed, you come back and show us that it's possible, because you go to Kenya, you go to America and see the ladies doing it, and come back and empower us, because in Uganda we have the society norms, as women in the African culture, we are raised to be lower. A woman, you don't talk, you stay humble. So when they see you leading, because leading needs aggressiveness, if you're leading, you have to talk, you need to have a voice. So beating those society norms, we are inspired
inspired by ladies like you that have done it before us. I like Margaret's, the owner of Seroma. She's also one of the ladies that inspire me, because she has gone aggressive with this whole, and I like that the last time she visited us and was talking to us, she was encouraging women, but she gave us room. Because they're dealing in cement and building houses. They're like, women, start small, just give me that 1 M. You don't be scared that, you need 100 million to build a house. Just keep, depositing with us. And we rise by lifting others. And I love women that lift other women, because that's how we grow as women. Yeah. We don't put each other down. It normally happens even in workspaces. You see a woman and you're thinking, no, she has no potential. No, women have, there's a lot of potential that women have. And I'll be sharing a bit of a study that I did on why women are even better leaders. Yeah. We have less ego. We are good at multitasking. We are super. People haven't even, exhausted what we can do. But those are a bit of the ladies.
Yeah, the Dalai Lama mentioned about 3 years ago that the world needs more women leaders because women are compassionate, and the world needs more compassion. And this was a spiritual male leader telling the rest of the world. So I think we are pretty much on the right path. Over to Olive. How important is mentoring and helping women navigate the challenges of entrepreneurship? Because most times we have no succession plan. You come in and you're the star of the show, but there has to be the ones that come after you. So to you, how important has mentoring been in being able to navigate challenges of entrepreneurship for women?
No, I think with time, particularly today, like she just said, some of us, like Mrs. Zenoma, Mrs. Kigozi, Mrs. Chiwanuka Mania, and many others, I can just mention a few. It's very motivating. And I, for one, what I can tell these ladies and what I tell those I work with is to have confidence in yourself. You can fall, and it's allowed. Stand up, don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't allow anybody to push you back.
Yeah.
Because when men fail,
True.
So men fail, they stand up. You as a girl, as a woman, even when you fail, don't take it. Stand up and move.
Yes.
And by the way, if you don't fall, the chance that you won't learn.
Exactly.
So those I speak to, and I'm speaking to them now, is that don't give up.
Yes.
Because you tried, the project hasn't worked, it doesn't mean that you're not going to keep trying again. Keep trying and believe in yourself. And also believe in what you do. Because if you don't believe in what you do, then you'll be scattered.
Exactly.
You'll be scattered. So it's important to believe in what you do. And also what I advise, out of my experience, I've had my challenges in business, is like she said, she learned her skill from her mother in terms of food that she was doing. It's important to do what you like. It's important to do what you like. I don't know if I said, I can tell you how I started. One of the things I have done in my life. You did mention about my skin. No, maybe my skin has nothing to do with it. Mine is probably, I'm lucky I've got good genes. But there's nothing special. But again, I had an opportunity, like she says, to see different things. And one time I'm somewhere in Europe, and there is a particular shop that I liked, body shop. Very sad recently I saw that it was affected by COVID and other things. So I'm looking at the products they have in the shop, and I realized actually the ingredients came from Africa. From
Shea butter,
and so many things. So I said, why not do this? Why not do this? And I came here, did a bit of research. I engaged Professor Kwesigat, he ran the Industrial Research Center. I went to Makerere. I had some young scientists, and we started it together. So it's something that it's like I said, you have to be passionate about what you are doing. What else I didn't tell you is that Musokot was not my first business. I'm also passionate about design and interior. Interior design. And I had a shop, Homes Limited. I don't know if you heard about it. It's in 1995. Yes. You are very young, you don't know. But those who are watching and covering my age, most of them were my clients. So to this day, I love it. And even now I'm still venturing into reviving that business. So it's important to be passionate about what you're doing. And those of you young people, even though you are trying to venture business, but first establish what you want to do. Yeah, do a bit of research. Get professional advice where necessary, do market research. I made a mistake, for example, in one of the ventures is I didn't do enough research. Yeah, I didn't get to understand the consumer behavior. So I lost money here and there. So what I can tell the people venturing business is to do market intelligence, do market research, get advice when necessary. Because in Africa, not only Uganda, we tend to think that you can wake up in the morning and do business. And do business. Do wake up by your own. Done this, why not me? So I think it's important to understand what you want to do, study that sector, see what you want to do, and where you need professional financial advice, legal advice, go for it. So I really want to, those who are looking to, some of us and many others, get professional advice, be passionate about what you're doing, and don't be scared to fail.
True.
Yes, have the courage to fail, wake up and move. That's what I can say.
It's true, passion drives a lot, because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, there are very many chances that you have to love what you do, because ultimately the odds of failing are high. So it's picking yourself up that matters the most. It sounds cliche, but it's actually works. It's something most entrepreneurs have said it. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they always say be fearless, fall down and run. Get up. So thank you so much for that. Rosette, in this business as an entrepreneur, you have had to find some ways of raising funding. Because we can't run away from it. You need capital. So what strategies have you found effective in raising capital for your enterprise, your venture?
Okay. First was with us, we had to reinvest in ourselves. Like I told you, while I was in the corporate space, all the money I kept, I had to invest in the business and reinvest. But we also got a bank loan that has helped us to revamp. We also sought for equity. Because we didn't want it to be small. We wanted it, we're not looking at the next 5 years. We want to build an enterprise that can be able to employ many more people and something that can live on to the generation. So that's why we opted for that.
So for those that are looking to start a business, you may consider having financial discipline, because most of the capital will come from your pocket.
Exactly.
The initial capital.
Exactly.
And then you have to get the bank loan, which you'll have to service. And that takes a lot of discipline.
Exactly.
So now, in terms of funding, because Oliver has been at this for more than 20 years, what challenges do women often face securing that funding?
That's why I say it's important to get professional advice. You have to get a financial advisor. If you have borrowed money from the bank, they give you these forms. And in all honesty, most of us won't even bother to read. Even if you read, you might not actually understand. So get a professional. That's why we have people trained differently. You are lawyers, accountants, you have to get them to read those documents and tell you that this is what it means, because often people are very desperate to borrow, but they don't think about what might happen tomorrow. So get someone. If you're not, I'm not saying everybody is, but in most cases, because we have financial advisors. Get a financial advisor, get a lawyer, read those terms and contracts of the bank. Before you even get to discipline, first understand the conditions, because normally and that's why you find people actually running to these money sharks, because they make it so easy. They run, you want, come. You give your car or your house, before you know it, it's gone. So it's important to understand what you are borrowing for. What are rules and regulations you have to follow? Are you be able to pay the bank interest? You can even negotiate. So, but in this case, that's where really professionals come in. I find that a lot of people say, I'm not going to pay my money to a financial advisor or to a lawyer.
And then you lose.
So what my advice would be, get advice before you even go to the bank. Let somebody interpret those little things.
Clauses.
They put in. Have these very readable lines underneath.
The tiny
clauses. You have to be either a lawyer or a financial person to understand it. So I would argue anyone who's going to borrow to understand before they can get the money.
Yes.
Get the money, but understand it. That's
so
advice.
To our listeners, for those who are looking at growing and financing your businesses, you must be able to get financial advice from professionals.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that entrepreneurs are just lucky and good at business. They also need advisors to be able to tell them how to manage their money, the terms and conditions that the bank loans come with. Because most times the banks use a very persuasive language, and yet the conditions are hidden in the little details, the small clauses, right? So over to Rosette. In what ways can women-led businesses bring unique perspective and ideas to the market? Because most times we're living in a man's world, but based on your experience from the corporate world and now where you're leading at Newman, in what ways can women-led businesses bring a unique perspective and ideas to the marketplace?
First of all, inclusion, number one, and giving the ladies a platform. I am actually I'm a coach, so I'm very passionate about gender equality in the workspace. And women, I like that we're doing actually, the women are 60% now, and the men are 50%. Just to encourage women more, they have a voice. And I just want to read something that someone shared here. I think it's called Jesse Johnson. He said, inclusion is not a matter of potential correctiveness. It is the key to growth. And without gender diversity, organization will miss out on a lot of new ideas, on a lot of innovation. There's so much potential. And as a leader, many times as leaders, you feel like you have all the wisdom you could bring to the table. I like to tell my teams or whoever we lead to give us ideas. Say something. Okay, so what is your solution? What do you think we can do? Because that is when you get more and more ideas. It's not just yours. Or if it's yours, you will add on to that. So inclusion is something that we could do. And then trainings. There's lots of room for trainings. The ladies need to know the potential they have. Mindset change. Many things that leave us stuck behind is coming from the mindset. So we've been doing lots of trainings on mindset change for people to visualize and see that they have potential. People do have, but because their minds are locked, I feel like that's a bit of what can be done.
I like that, because most times organizations have set rules and there's no room for people to think like entrepreneurs. So the fact that your employers have the room to express themselves, to bring an idea, possibly they've seen something new in the market and they bring it to you is very, very commendable. In this thing of life, there's always the home, the life. People call it work-life balance, but I like to call it work-life. I learned it recently from Jackie, one of the top marketers. She said there's never going to be a balance. There's possibly work-life integration. So for someone who has been in this business for a while, what would you say about having that balance of your work and personal life? How have you managed it over time, the work-life integration?
I would say it's actually something personal. First and foremost, responsibilities are not the same.
True.
But you must get your priorities right.
True.
And as long as you can, we women by nature, we're good at multitasking.
Yes.
So let's get your priorities right. Some of us have got children, some don't, and some have got demanding husbands, and others don't. So it's a personal thing, but it is doable, and we can do it as women. We are very good at doing it. You could be typing here, and somebody's calling me, and you can actually balance things. You can balance. So on this one, I think it's very personal, but And again, I want to say that shouldn't hold you back because you think it's too much. It's how you organize yourself. It's very personal. Very personal. I wanted to comment on something she said about training women in business. Last year, we had a partnership with UNDP where we trained about 300 women countrywide who are being trained to do business under the Continental Free Trade Area. And I had an opportunity to interact with the ladies, particularly from Kampala, because we were in up north, east, west, central, and all those places. I realized that there's a lot of talk, women and youth, they're everywhere. And sometimes I wonder if it's actually building value. With due respect, sometimes I find that some people use it for their own agendas. Their own agendas. And you find poor women who are running all over the place because Company X, they have a tailor program to train women in business. And so you'll find these ladies are running from one place to another. I remember went to, was it Telegu? And the topic we're talking about, two other organizations had been there training, talking about the same subject. You understand? So what I want to tell you is it's good for training. To train is also good to be exposed. Exposure is very, very important.
It's true.
Because if you don't get out of your space, you don't know what's happening next door. But I want to say to the ladies that be specific what you want to learn. But don't say, they say you are in Kisoro and you are told to go to Karamoja for trade. What are they going to do there? I'm just, what are they looking for? Let them understand what they're looking for, learn, and go there with a mission. If, for example, I'm in a textile business, what am I going to do with somebody who is into agriculture? You see what I mean?
I hear you.
So be intentional. Don't just go because the wind is, like I said, there's a lot of, there's a lot of money to train women to do, but let's be intentional as women to what we want to do. And train. Yes, training is good, exposure is good, sharing is important also. Because some people are scared to share because they think I'm going to take the idea.
That's true.
Yes, that's very true. Oh yes, I saw this in those trainings. Whereby somebody if I tell you that somebody's going to steal my idea, nobody can steal your idea.
It is yours.
And two, talking of training, I think also we are being taken advantage of, especially our women, the SMEs. One of the centers went to up north. They are doing beautiful shea butter. And what is happening is maybe lawyers have to help them with IP.
Intellectual property.
Yes. So I think that's where we should actually train the women. Because these guys come and say, buy this shea butter, whatever it is. And as long as they have them in certain quantities, they can actually go out there and register it and take it away.
Imagine.
So these trainings, and I thought I'll talk on that training bit. This also is a very important topic for us to understand about the safeguarding our own products, what we are doing. So the training is not just a training to do business. Nobody can train you. They can improve on your idea. They're not going to tell you what to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
They just open your mind.
Your mind.
Yes.
And again, I go back to this reputation of Company X, then they come and talk about the same thing. So you find actually some women are losing interest. They're calling us, but it's going to be the same thing. Same thing. So on the training, yes, it's good, but let's be intentional.
Purpose-driven training.
Yes, that's
I hear
I agree with you because the numbers I was reading today, and 44% of women-led businesses start, but they don't get to live to see their fifth birthday.
Yeah.
So it's intentional because it's that failure to have processes and systems in place that are able to protect and guard your business to stand the test of time. So in as much as the world and all these SDG goals are in support of women, they are not empowering us to the core to solve the actual problem. I like the fact that you said you would like the business to stand the test of time, at least to hire your grandchildren and children. And that takes a lot of purpose and planning and not just getting that basic skilling, right? Thank you so much for that. To Rosette, in what ways can women know? We already asked that, but in regards to your life and the journey you have taken right now, can you share with our listeners and the viewers what milestone or achievement that you are particularly proud of? In your life, in your business, in your journey?
I think one of the biggest milestones or victories is being the fact that we moved from our former premises. We actually started in a store. We started with one of our first products, which is UG Kamularis on the market. And then we did a juice. It's a banana juice called Conk Banana Juice before we started the whole snack, the variety of the snacks that we are doing. So we were in a squashed environment, just finding our way and, struggling in a small space. So last year when we moved to our premises in Nakaoka, seated at 16 acres of land, was such a success. And for me, that's how I view success, in those small victories.
That have just joined us. Again, this is Fat Talks Show by Fidelis Leadership Institute. Just to inform the listeners and the viewers, Fidelis Leadership Institute will be having a FAT fellowship that will be running for 8 weeks with 8 modules. At the cost of 1 million shillings, you're able to have a purpose-driven life. There are all sorts of modules and experts. Please look out for us on the social media platforms. And just to remind you, today the topic is women in business, women-led businesses. And our guest and Rosette Seguja Najemba, who is the co-founder of Newman and commercial director of Newman. Thank you for those that are listening in. Please follow and continue to like our pages. As we continue, I would like to ask Olive a question. How does having diverse leadership contribute to innovation within a business? Because as a leader, you sort of have a different touch to how you do things. So how do you think, any way of how you lead and how it contributes to a business? Because sometimes you're tough, sometimes you're kind, sometimes you're bold.
Yeah, it depends on who you're dealing with. That's number one. I, for one, because I'm talking about myself, I'm a patient person. And those who have worked with me know about it. And I tend to be patient, but tough.
Carrot and stick.
Yes. Either you do a work or you get reprimanded.
True.
And honestly, by the time I let somebody go, for example, in workplace, I have tried and tried. And those who are listening, those who worked with me, know about it.
Johnny from Mosa Court State.
Mosa Court, and then the Chamber of Commerce, and I've had people I've worked with over the years. They go and actually come back to me, and I don't hold back, like even sharing information, sharing experiences. I share with the people I work with, and who I think I add value to their dreams. I give it open without holding back. But we have a bad work culture.
Oh yes.
I expound on that. You're not the first person I hear, especially the Gen Z.
In the business, people work for you think they're doing you a favor. They think they're doing you a favor. They actually forget that you're paying them. It's a job. We don't seem to have a culture of respecting our job. We don't have a culture of, respecting the office that, you know what, this is what brings food on my
Exactly.
table. Nothing to this that bothers me. Somebody comes not be because we all know the seasons of rain. Let's have umbrellas. When it has rained, we carry umbrellas.
Then there's also traffic.
And then the traffic. Even somebody who doesn't have a car tells you
the words traffic.
yeah. So we interact those, and I intend to say, listen, it's not, I'm not being unkind, but it's not right. And as much as we have a high rate of unemployment, sometimes our people are not really employable.
That's so true.
Yeah. And you realize because of that, a lot of foreign companies, ask yourself why do companies bring in their own people?
True.
Yeah. And those who are listening, it's the truth. Some of you, I've told you. Yeah, I have told you. Because if I invested my money in a company, I want to
value.
Yeah, I want value for money.
What value?
I want value for money.
Exactly.
Don't come in as and when it suits you, and with this attitude of like, I'm working for her. You're working for yourself. You're not working for
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I for one, I share and advise and counsel sometimes. Before I let somebody go, I would have really tried my best.
Rosette, thank you so much. There's this information about Gen Zs and having a shorter attention span and then wanting to access wealth and success quickly overnight. How are you handling that at Newman's?
Oh my goodness, because we're working with many young people.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. Like, actually, in most of my sessions, all I'm doing is advising them on the simple basics. For example, please wake up early. You see us, the old people, we wake up early. Can you just please wake up? Yeah. If you know, you just keep telling them to do better. Can you please not have a bad attitude?
Yeah.
Someone comes to you and you're just like, really? You know, so it's terrible. We need to educate these guys that things don't come on a silver platter. Then they have this norm of, you work smart. I mean, you know, they want the shortcuts. Can I be an influencer and my 3M? No. You know, you have to put in the hard work sometimes. Not even sometimes. It's a must. You have to focus and know your why. Set goals. Know what you want. Yeah, this idea of thinking this guy has given me a job, I'm helping them. No. You're not helping nobody. You're that you're working for because you're very replaceable. They forget.
And artificial intelligence and technology right now.
I was actually amazed, and I was having a conversation with her because I watched a documentary of AI and artificial intelligence is taking us by storm. Drivers will not be needed in the US in the next 10 years, and that is coming on. If you say your expertise is being a waiter and a waitress, my dear, no, you're not going anywhere. The robots are gonna, you know, they've actually already started in China and Hong Kong, and it's coming all over.
Sure.
The robots are doing this thing and they're doing it diligently. You know, machines. For them, you program, they will do. They're not like human beings. Today I'm sick. Yeah. So
regarding that, the work culture. A lot of corporate companies here, for example, they have made it rule that if you've lost someone in a family, it have to be an immediate family.
Yes.
Because you'll find that someone will come and tell you, the Jaja dies about 10 times.
Yes.
But you thought your Jaja, that was my mother, grandmother, and this. It's not that I'm being sensitive, but it's the truth. It's the truth. So you'll find that in some banks and some organizations, it has to be your immediate family. Otherwise, nothing will ever be done. And we experience this every day. I don't know about you.
A lot.
And then there is the burial, and then there is going to be the rumbe, and which is fine. But for example, in Kenya, they have they never bury during the week. They bury over the weekend. But in our case, yes, you have to be sensitive that somebody has lost a loved one. But some of them use it as
And
an excuse
all that time. Yeah.
And if you refuse, my goodness,
she's so mean.
oh, she's so mean, she's so unkind, she's so uncaring. So work ethics also has everything to do with it, and a thing to do with the mindset.
Yes.
And like she says, where we are going, they might not have jobs.
True.
Yeah.
So to the listeners and the viewers, please take your work very seriously, exercise some good work ethic. And as we close, I would like parting shots for Olive to tell us, what advice would you give to women aspiring to start and lead their own businesses?
First and foremost, I'm a fan of telling women, because I have more girls, I have daughters, and I have one son, it's important to be financially independent. And the days are good where, when you were in my time, a man was supposed to look after you. You didn't have to do anything. Yeah. But those days are gone.
Yeah.
Right? So, and when you're financially dependent, I'm not saying be independent and don't run your home, don't be a wife.
Yeah.
It also contributes towards your well-being as a family.
That's true.
Yes. So it's important for the girl to be, and I tell this to my girls, work towards being financially independent. If your husband is not able to buy a car, you can afford to buy it, why not?
Why not?
Why not? So I want to tell the ladies in the business who aspire to do business, it's very, very important. It's very, very important. At the end of the day, we have the same brains.
That's true.
We have the same brains. The women have gone to school, the boys have gone to school, and
Yeah.
so why not work towards also being financially independent and also run your home?
Yeah.
Run your home. You can be actually running a business.
I like this because there's a gender that it keeps saying the men should do this, the men should do this. There are traditional aunties who say the man should buy all the food in the household. So different.
No. It's fine. I mean, culturally,
Yes.
I mean, a man is supposed to look after you.
The responsibility.
The responsibility.
Yes.
But it's also, it's your home, it's your husband, it's your kids.
Yes.
So why does it cost for you to not contribute? I think it's important because you are partners at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yes,
So, partner, but you're not going to sit there and say, this is my money. I'm not going to give it to the man. And by the way, today, also the young men who are marrying, they don't want to carry on people who are broke.
They don't want broke women.
Yes,
they don't want. Actually, that's what they make out.
Yes.
It's no longer beauty. It's not. She has a job.
That's a job.
It's she independent.
Yes.
That's the one I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So financial independence is a very trait that the men
Now
are
I
looking
think
out.
here you have a bum or not.
Yeah.
Now.
If you can do both, good for you.
Yeah.
But please, girls, ladies who are watching, work towards being financially independent.
Very, very important.
Very, very important.
Very important.
It makes it easier, the less pressure on your family.
Exactly.
And also you as a person. Because there are certain things as girls and women, we need. Some of us come from very humble background and you have support your family. Also your husband will be coming from the same background.
Yeah.
But you can't now shift all this responsibility
All the baggage on him.
to this man because he's your husband.
Yeah.
So please be, those who are listening to me, girls and the women, work towards being
Financially
independent.
And then
Yes.
That's very good advice from the president.
I love it.
So, Rosette parting shot. Rosette, what steps can society take to ensure continued progress in promoting gender diversity in entrepreneurship as a society? Because we have seen that society has created these norms. But what steps can society take to ensure that women are promoted?
I don't know if society can help at a certain extent, but everything starts with you as a person. I think I feel like it starts with you. What's your belief? I believe that God has so much power. I don't know about the rest, but there's a higher power. There's Allah, whoever you subscribe to, and if you have your belief system in check and you're praying to God and putting in the hard work, because faith without action is dead as well. So do not give up on yourself. Yeah, believe God for what you can do as a woman. Believe that you can be it. Believe that you can be a president for an institution. Believe that you can own a business and you will do it. That's the thing. Because she actually mentioned something about if you don't believe in your product, people won't even believe you. If you don't believe in yourself, people will not believe you. You come and say, of course, I'm into sales. That's all I know. People believe you before they believe your product. How are you? Like, tell me, show me, believe, show me that confidence. Yeah. So it stands out. I think everything starts with you as a person. Yeah. So let's be persistent. Let's persevere. Let's work hard. Let's focus. Let's set goals.
True.
Yeah. And we'll make it.
I like this. So for those who have tuned in, Smart TV is available on DSTV and GOTV. On DSTV, they're on channel 372, and on GOTV, they're on channel 320. We're also available on YouTube. Fat Talks is also available on Smart TV, which is also on YouTube. Like I said, this show is always here Thursdays from 4 to 5. However, just to remind you, the Fidelis Leadership Institute has a program that will be having a fellowship of 8 weeks. Please sponsor your loved ones or yourself if you're looking for a purpose-driven life direction. They'll have all these experts coming to talk to you about finances, managing people, personal branding, and all these things that are going to future-proof you in the future so that you can be a successful leader for tomorrow. Fidelis, the FAT means Fidelis. For Fidelis, the ethics are around having an ethical leadership. So FAT means faithful, available, and teachable. Nice. So these are values that society has really abandoned, and we want to bring them back in style, because most of the problems in society start when people have no ethical backbone, and that is a very big problem. Yeah. So today, happy Leap Day to all of you out there. Remember to tune in next Thursday. But most importantly, I would like to say thank you so much to our guests today, President Zaitun Olive, who has been leading the President's Organization from 1933. Very impressive. To the Chamber of Commerce, it has a lot of subscribers, 10,000 industries, partners across the SADC region, and she's doing a great job. So if you're an investor looking to come into Uganda, please look for them. They are found somewhere in Kampala on the street is called
Tanfield Drive.
Yes, Tanfield Drive, somewhere within Kamocha. If you search on your Google, you'll find it behind the Kamocha Street, Tanfield Drive. They've been in existence. They've proved the test of time. And then for our viewers who are looking for a nutritious snack, Newman is available. It has all sorts of snacks, crisps, plantain, gonja, chili, G-nuts. Please support Ugandan businesses, because once we support our own, then we'll be able to grow the business. Until next time, my name is Viola Mboneko Rusoke. I am a founder for Titanium Agency. We also help businesses to maximize their potential. Remember to follow all these ladies for business nuggets, and remember, as we enter into the Women's Month, please support other women. We have a habit of saying women this, women that, but when the push comes to shove, where the rubber meets the road, we are not actually doing the actual action. So to the people who have been on Space, Twitter, thank you for tuning in. Again, Fidelis Leadership Institute, Fat Talks Show. Remember to be faithful, available, and teachable. Thank you so much. And Smart TV, thank you for partnering with us. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I think we're done.
Yeah.